Hey everybody, Jason here. So we are almost an hour after market closed, ending up down $9,000 ish today, but a very, very good day, very good week, very good month. If you remember last Monday when we had that pretty huge dip, we were down to I think like 190 or so on the account. Then we took advantage of that dip, opened up some more put credit spreads, and now we are up on those. So the ones that I did open up today were down a little bit on. So I grabbed a couple 750, 745s, and a 730, 725, both expiring next Friday. These I'm perfectly fine with. I wanted to be a little bit more aggressive on them because we could collect some pretty decent premium, being that Tesla had moved down finally. And I'm not worried, even if we dip down, touch some of these 750s, not worried about it whatsoever. The reason being is because we are super close to production and delivery numbers. We are super close to earnings. And we have the FSD beta release, which I think is going to make a pretty big upside, more of a proof of concept what's going to happen. So I did opt into that. They said they're going to be monitoring my driving, and if you guys want to check that out, we can look at the actual Tesla app here. You can see I'm scoring a 93. I don't know what the threshold's going to be. They didn't come out and say that. Elon said you need to be safe. So I don't know if only 100 constitutes safe, above 90, 95, 98. I don't know what that number is, but it's basically a rolling score. So if we look at daily details, you can see every day is scored. The first day I didn't realize I was being monitored, and I may have had more fun than I should have with the potential of being monitored. So we only had an 85, but after that we had a 95, 94, and now 97 today. So bringing our average up. And of course, as we get 7 days into it, or 8 days, and then the last day will fall off. So if that's what we need to do, that's what we will do. The most difficult thing seems to be this hard braking. They say 0.3 Gs. I don't know what 0.3 Gs really means as far as braking. I guess maybe I can download a GeForce Monitor app or something like that to actually experience what 0.3 Gs looks like. But I think a big portion of that is using autopilot, where it maintains its distance behind a car pretty closely. But my confidence is so high in it, I don't mind setting it to 1 or 2 car lengths because I know it brakes like perfectly faithfully. So we'll see how that is, and we'll keep updated. Of course, I'll probably put a video up as soon as I actually get the FSD, and just maybe we'll even stream that on the first couple drives or something like that. The other thing I was looking at with Tesla was just delivery dates. So this is just the plain Jane Model Y. This is the one that probably most people are going to be ordering, and it is sold out like for 6 months, which is, I mean, to have a back order of 6 months on a relatively expensive car, on one that people are always afraid, they have range anxiety, they're still not super comfortable with an electric car. That's pretty insane. And now we're getting into the point where we have Giga Texas and Berlin. They're going to be coming online soon and actually having some production. So that's going to increase that. We can keep up with demand a little bit better. One of their biggest constraints has been and is battery production. So as soon as we can satisfy the output of these cars, that's when we'll start to see Cybertruck coming out. And that's been one of the big hindrances of the Semi, because the Semi is going to take so many batteries. For every one Semi produced with that amount of batteries, there could be several of these cars produced. So that's been the constraint. So next year and a half or so, we're going to see production massively going up. I think even when we're hitting 800s, 900s, whatever we hit in the near term as far as Tesla stock price, I think it's still just a fantastic bargain. As we've been seeing, 50% increase in production year over year. It's just going to keep going as far as we can definitely see. So jumping back into the Robinhoods, I think we went over those few plays that we made. The reason it took me so long to actually post and record anything today, just a generally busy day at work, but listening to as much as I could with I listened to a lot of Jen Psaki today and a lot of Congress and Jerome Powell, trying to fish out whatever information I could. I don't think anything. I don't think there's anything major that I need to take into account into the near future. We are probably. I'm pretty sure we're going to have a government shutdown. The only thing that would be nice with the government shutdown is if we didn't have to pay our taxes for those days. That would be pretty awesome. If they're not going to work, why would we have to pay? But we're rolling into that. I don't think I've ever traded during a government shutdown before. I definitely could go back and see how the markets reacted to that the last few times that we've actually had them. That would be some good diligence to do right there. But I have not, so I'm not sure what to expect during that time. And that's something that just plainly should happen. Last thing I did forget to mention, as I was saying with Apple, anytime it's down 1%, I'm grabbing a share. Oh, actually, I need to grab another one tomorrow. So for down 1%, I'm grabbing a share. For down 2%, I'm grabbing another share. So far, we are down $66 total on our shares. And I think this will most likely be temporary. I mean, it's Apple. It's Apple. Pays a little bit of a dividend. I don't think it's going anywhere. Grabbed a few shares of Airbnb. And then we do have our daily purchases of the SPY and the Qs. And I did turn back on my purchasing of Palantir. Yes, Palantir, because it is below $26. $26 and above is where I turn it off, since that will be my average cost of the shares once I own those, or once I'm able to exercise those leaps in the future for $20 a piece. So it doesn't make any sense. And that, of course, being my goal of owning 1,000 shares of Palantir, getting there a little bit quicker than we thought, just because we're getting these daily purchases in. So we're at 485 plus a 600. We'll be pretty close to 1,100. So if we stay below this $26 level for a couple more months or so, then we may end up with 1,100 or 1,200 shares, which would be perfectly fine for me. Second favorite company that we own. So other than that, I think that is about it for the day. Oh, I did roll out, last thing, I did roll out my Google credit spread here. This is totally inaccurate. It's like one of those things at the end of the day where the bid ask is super wide, so it gives you some funky number. So I think we might be up like, let's see, 60 or $90 or something like that on it. Not huge. But I did want to roll those out a little bit just in case we had a continuation. There's no huge reason that it should go massively to the upside, I don't think, other than just a bounce on a good stock. All right, guys, love you. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow, and let's make a lot of money.